pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're gonna pay the consequences for that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. We're obliterating everybody, literally. There is nobody else that comes close to what Hex has done. Boom. Oh, it's about to get funky. Funkier than you could have ever imagined. You know, Richard Hart is a boss. Hex is literally the best thing on the planet. It's simple mathematics. Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest. Yep. That's it. Yep. That's the secret. The guy well told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. Shit, motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. I mean, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you. Y'all deep. Everybody. My God. Hex-Asians, bro. Everybody. Australians, man. Everybody gets me. Yo, Wendy's done told you. Dollar Club done told you. Everybody done told you. It's crazy. Whoa, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on, man? That's got to be the hypest intro I've ever seen in my life.
Yo,
man.
right? I always feel like I just finished doing some laps or some shit. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Have to drop down and do a couple of quick push-ups or something to get the energy out.
So how you guys doing today, man? It's a good day out here.
Yeah, doing great, bro.
Very ready for Peter Schiff battle?
Oh, man, that's gonna be nasty. Do you know much about Peter Schiff, Motley, and Finbear? Do you guys know much?
I've seen him. I've followed Peter Schiff for I think like 15 years or something.
Right.
Like he's been on Max Kaiser ever since I've watched Max and yeah, I've heard the gold spiel many times.
Mm-hmm. I think the first time I came across him wasn't he the one that during those protests out on Wall Street, like the 1% or whatever.
Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, I think that's where I first caught wind of him, was when he went out there and started interviewing those people, protesters.
Yeah, and his wasn't it his father who spent like the rest of his days in prison because he tried to fight the
IRS.
Which one was it? Yeah, income tax or something.
Yep, he's one of those victims. Yep.
Yeah. So like my heart goes out to him in that respect. Like he's from a family that has like paid dearly for their fighting for freedom. So my hat's off to that. That's something that I can stand behind.
100%. Yeah, it's unfortunate he hasn't learned from that though.
Yeah.
That's what's sad.
That's besides the point. Like as a freedom fighter, I gotta.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Tip my hat off to him.
Don't be a shiffhead.
Yeah.
Don't be a shithead is right.
Yeah, I have no idea who the guy is, but hey, we'll see.
Well,
he got sorry, real quick. He got really famous in like 2007 for calling the collapse of the housing crisis.
But do you know why?
Why what?
Why he got famous off of that call?
Because he was the only one calling it for the most part.
That's his only call, sir.
Yeah, exactly. He's a broken clock.
Yes, sir.
He's like he's the kind of guy that goes, "Hey guys, I don't think inflation is sustainable." And it's like, okay, until the currency actually collapses, It's like you're just like he's just an agitator.
Well, just to give everybody a sneak peek, if you've seen the Harry Dent debate, expect the exact same thing, because they're the exact same kind of people. They're just
cut from
backing
the
different
same
products.
cloth.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's a reason there's only a few whales onlys and not a whole bunch of fucking Peter Schiffs and Harry Dents, right? Because there's a whole bunch of them motherfuckers, but not in crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
actually, most of them are already wrecked. They're about the last couple. Them and Mike Maloney. But he's got other businesses.
I don't know if they're wrecked. Their audiences are probably wrecked, but those guys are. Those guys are invested.
Cut.
Yeah, they're making their cut off the business of like Peter Schiff selling gold. But on the back end, like, you don't think he's not still investing in crypto via his son? You don't think he still has his own stock portfolio? Like, it's his audience. It's his audience that gets wrecked.
Mm-hmm. His
well, it's
poor
great
son
banner.
Is investing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's great. If you think about it, it's great banter for whoever follows him and their children, because a lot of people like me, Finbear, grew up watching people like him that now have children that are coming up and now know crypto. Right. So you got this bridge being gapped in multiple ways. And I mean, to be honest with you, I honestly believe his charade is more of an act than anything else, because it's just illogical. You know,
it's what his business model and his persona is built around. He's pigeonholed. I've said this before. He's pigeonholed himself into this character, and he's just got to continue it on for the sake of this business he's built around being the gold guy. Like that.
He can't change up now.
Right. Or find a way to capitulate, which makes it an even better story.
Right.
I just came up with a theory about Peter, and I think I got him figured out. All right, here's the theory. Him as a single person, he could go out and promote Bitcoin or cryptos, right? As a single voice. But if you start shit talking crypto, like say you start shit talking Hex, instead of just me being one guy promoting Hex, I can get 100 people to promote Hex for me, and all I got to do is shit talk it a little bit. You get that? It's like,
so
if
he's
you talk
kind of
trash, you're gonna get people to come out of the woodwork to promote
reverse
it.
Psychology in a certain aspect, right?
Yeah, some kind of a weird hype man.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happens on Twitter, right? You get all these fool rules trying to down talk Hex, but what happens is you get all those piranhas just waiting. They just fucking chomp the meat off the bone, and they fall for the bait, you know. And it's just you just attacking these trolls, and it's like, come on, man. Just wasting your time talking to morons anyway. You're not gonna educate them.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, you're not.
Just expect to get very frustrated with this debate because it's gonna be Richard talking to a wall.
Yeah, 100%.
If you haven't seen the Harry Dent back and forth, please do so.
I think
respect. That's all I had to say regarding the Harry Dent thing, is that they agreed on so many things, and even though Harry was getting kind of fired up at times, Richard kept it really respectful during the debate, which I liked it, even though I knew how it's gonna end.
Yeah, I don't think so. Crypto Heartbeat, Quarter Panda, and Rags to Riches were talking about this earlier, and I think it was Rags to Riches that said, like, there's not going to be a winner of the debate, right? Like, it's really going to be, I think it's going to be Richard trying to convert, or at least just make Peter Schiff's audience more aware of crypto in general and Hex, right? Because, like, I think a lot of gold and silver bugs, like we've talked about this before, they share a lot of commonalities with the core ethos of crypto. It's just a better asset class. They just might not know it yet because they follow guys like Peter Schiff that are behind the times, or maybe they're not behind the times, but they continue to just portray this, oh, I'm a gold guy, and they continue the narrative on when they're just getting left behind. Because, like Peter Schiff's son, these new generations, like, they're not investing in stocks or gold anymore. Like, crypto is the asset class of the future. That is what these younger generations are going to be investing in. And we'll see that over time, over the next 5-10 years. We'll see that shift starting to take place. So I think the whole goal of this debate is really to just get Richard to strike home on some key points that gold bugs might share in common with crypto, and start bringing their audience into the future of where finance is heading, and that is crypto.
Yeah, exactly. The audience is definitely, you know, a crazy big part of it, because there's going to be a lot of people of his area watching, you know, and maybe he can bring them on. So that'll be cool to see too. So
one thing I will say is this, and thank you for the super chat, Rev 10. I'm looking for the link right now. Give me a second, man. One thing I will
Benny
say.
already shared it. It's in the chat.
Ah, boom.
Yeah.
There you go. So for those looking for it, there you have it. Let me just get it myself so I can put it and it can hyperlink and all that cute stuff that motherfuckers like.
Yeah, everything needs to be made easy.
Yeah, you know how that BS goes.
Even Motley had to grow a mustache, because otherwise guys wouldn't believe it. That looks beautiful, man. I always say,
just for you, bro.
Mustache is the best thing a man can give himself. Well, besides a blowjob, but man, that looks good.
Let me pull up this joke. I think the link that Benny shared is the freaking actual view link. This is the link to register that I just put in the chat. Let me find that view link, because I saw it earlier. Who the hell tweeted it?
I tweeted it. You can go grab it from mine. Yeah.
Was it you? I can't remember who the hell it was.
I've tweeted it a couple times. So that's another thing. While Wales goes and gets that link, guys, go watch this live, right? Like, go register, go get yourself a throwaway email. You don't have to put your real name. But this site, like Gary's talked about it, he helped orchestrate this with the highest of stakes. But this kind of third-party site, this is how we leverage this for future interviews with big players, right? Big players in industries that aren't necessarily involved in crypto, but they're looking a place to park their funds into. So go show that when they have someone that comes on like Richard, you're going to have a very interactive audience. You're going to have a lot of eyeballs on you. That's what they want, right? Like, they want to essentially increase their social cred, right? So go out there, show them that Richard Hart is a valuable person to have on, and you'll see more of these interviews take place. Again, it's not really about winning this debate, because there's people like Peter Schiff that are just going to be so closed-minded. You're probably not going to change them, but the whole point is outreach to their audiences. So that's the big goal. Go register, do a throwaway email, watch it live, support, and carry yourself well in the comments too, right? Don't act like an asshole.
For fuck's sake.
Don't be a child. Remember, carry yourself well, and people will respect that. Don't sit there and get in a fucking fight with trolls in the chats. Just be smart, educate, and refute their points with eloquence, and not just sit there and go down to the just name calling and all this other bullshit like Peter McCormick would, or something along those lines.
And we don't have to. We don't even have to be like extra courteous or something to look exceptionally well behaved compared to Bitcoiners.
Yeah, pretty much.
True.
They're like pretty disgusting online.
Well, that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny, right? Because if you guys went through some of the threads where Peter Schiff was talking shit about Hex and Richard, you actually saw some of the Bitcoin maxis like siding with them. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's just like, you guys do realize, like, we're on. It's funny, right? Like, we are on the same team. Like, it is kind of crypto versus traditional legacy, but they've become so blinded by the fact of just like they hate everything else. They're willing to side with the gold bug over someone who's fighting for cryptocurrency, like an advocate like Richard Hart.
I literally sent a tweet out like that today. What will the Bitcoin maxis side with today?
Yeah, crazy.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Exactly.
So guys, if you haven't, go register at gocoevents.com. Okay, you'll get a link in the email, and if something leaks, you'll get it on Twitter or wherever the hell. So just be on the lookout and make sure you attend via the link, because it's about numbers. Let's not forget that. It's about data. You want Richard to keep, pouncing on these clowns. Well, this is how we have to do it. All right, we got to keep just, going from one level to the next. It's like a video game. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, he's already beat up the rest of crypto, right? Like, there's no one.
There is no competition in crypto.
There's no one left in crypto that he's either destroyed or wants to face him because of all the reputations he's left destroyed in his wake, right? So, like, we don't have anyone else in the space. So we really do need to make that transition to the legacy finance.
Our community is about it.
Yeah. Seriously.
Literally it. Yeah. That's serious. That's a real comment. Yeah, there is no competition out here. It's kind of crazy and it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's good for us because what that means is that we get to set the standard, we get to lead the way, and people are going to figure out who the leaders in the space are because they're going to realize when they're watching all those Furu shows when RH is on them, guess who's standing out? Not the Furus.
And he doesn't even have to try, right? Like we saw that last time. Like he whooped that ass. He whooped that ass from his bed. He's like, he didn't bother to get up. He barely like trying to like. I think Brent at one point came into his hotel room at one point. He's like, bro, I'm on a podcast. I'm on an stream right now. Can you not? Like, gave no fucks whatsoever, and still just laid down the education for everyone. And that just shows you like how much of a higher caliber he is in the industry than 99% of these guys that claim to know what they're talking about.
And that just lends credence to my favorite point: quality over quantity, folks. Do you want diamond hands or do you want a pump and then a dump? Right? And that's the difference. Yeah. That's the difference that that's what I fight for. I fight for onboarding diamond hands. I don't care about Hex being on a centralized exchange so that plebs can buy it. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to sell it immediately after they get a 1x or a 2x or whatever. Right? So I'm not here for that. I'm here for true, proper financial education, which is going to allow people to make the proper decision with the proper frame of thought, because that's what it's all about. I mean, look at what gold is a prime example, right? Now, why is that? Well, gold has all of the same positive elements that crypto has. The only reason crypto wins is because it cannot be manipulated, and that's assuming it is real crypto.
It can be manipulated.
No, it cannot. Only if it's real crypto. Stop thinking about promise coin shit, bro. If I remove you from the stream.
Well,
manipulation just means
we're gonna burn you at the stake. We're gonna burn you at the t-shirt stake.
Well, manipulation just means someone can buy it or someone can sell it. That's really manipulation.
I know. What I mean is literal, like wash trading, like that type of like BNB type shit. That's what I mean. Okay. Yeah. Like that's not crypto, bro. That's straight manipulated price action, all the way from 0 cents to whatever it is now. And salute to whoever rode that wave, because I would have never dared, right? Because if you were around back then, you wasn't holding any of that because you knew that shit was a Ponzi scheme. So, but it continues, right? And I don't think people make the connection between BitConnect and BNB, but they're the same. I don't know if people realize that, but they are the same because those are the same people, all the same actors, all the same motherfuckers. They just throwing CMC in the mix and change the name. Yeah, do your homework.
God damn it.
So when you think about what?
No, I hadn't thought about it before.
Mm-hmm. Why the colors are the same? Everything is the same, bro.
Yeah. You got to ask yourself, all the scammers in this space, where do they go? Mm-hmm. They're probably still here, right?
They got a safe haven, and that's called Binance. Dead ass, right? I mean, think about it. The space was one thing in 2016, 2017. Now something completely different. However, the scamming has only gone up in dollar value. Why? Because there's a whole lot more traps. The traps are more organized, and all of these things. Right? It's not a coincidence that people are getting hacked damn near daily. That's a function of all of the things that occur in this system because of how it's set up. People don't really sit there and take into account what they're doing a lot of times when they're trying to make money and they're brand new to something. They're just excited. They're just trying to make money. They don't care. And a lot of the time, that leads to falling into traps. And this is how people end up in those send an ETH and get two back type of scenarios, right? Where you should think you the person would know better, given it's the internet and it's 2022, but man, apparently not.
Yeah, right? People are desperate, right? Like, I mean, with the current state of everything, they're trying to find an edge or anything to essentially reduce having to work 80-hour work weeks to stay ahead of inflation and taxes. So like they wanna find that send one ETH, get two back kind of things, right? Because they want to get rich quick. They don't want to wait anymore. They realize at the rate they're going, they're going to be working until they're 80, 90 years old, pretty much to their deathbed. So they're desperate. They're looking for a way out. And like the right crypto is the way out. But like Richard says, it's hard finding that right crypto, right? Like getting crypto right is the most valuable thing you can do today. And it's hard. It's really hard. The barrier to entry and all the pitfalls that Wales was talking about, this space has got a long ways to go. What we're trying to build in this ecosystem is hopefully the right path for crypto, and it'll make it a lot safer for newcomers coming in.
Yeah, just to touch on that a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes before I got on stream, I just probably onboarded, I think, another 10,000 into the Richard Hart ecosystem via my motorcycle mechanic.
There you go, man.
Yeah, and I was talking to him, and he's like, tell me more about Hex. I gave him a business card with the little Hex logo on it.
Nice.
This little guy right here.
Did you say I am the CEO?
Nice.
I said I am the CEO of Hex.
But just mentioning what real I said about burning you at the stake, I take it all back, man.
But just to touch on what Motley was saying, he's like sitting there. He's like, yeah, man, like I'm just like sick and tired of just working and just busting my ass for like almost nothing. And he's just like, I need to do something to help me get in here. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, this right here is the key. And he's like, I got 10 grand. Like, let me come back like tomorrow and we'll get it all set up. He's like, I will buy like a laptop or a brand new phone to put all my cryptos on. I'm like, okay, well, let's get you started and get you really going.
I mean, that sounds like a good candidate, right, for Diamond Hands, because that person already comes off with the basic understanding that they need their own dedicated machine for this operation.
Dude, that actually really surprised me. He's like, yeah, I'll get a computer and dedicate it to the crypto.
Just get him off the phone idea. That was
horrible. Just get him off the phone.
Other than that, all sounded cool.
Thank you, sir. No phone. I'm really against the whole phone thing because there's just so many ways to get hacked on a phone.
And also, guys, whenever you're onboarding a friend to use the Staker app, you have to keep your right arm at this kind of Bruce Lee position where you're ready to swat the hand off from the screen capture
screenshot.
I told you already, we're not taking a screen. Put your hands away, man.
Can't Staker.APP implement something that physically stops you? Because I've seen apps before that physically stop you from screenshot. They need to put that in there, because I can't tell you how many times I've literally got done just talking to someone and tell them not to do that, and I see them going to do it. And like Ben Bear said, you fucking swat their shit away. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, we just went over this.
I just told you 5 times. I told you,
because it's out of habit, though. You know,
yes,
it's out of habit. That's the problem.
You know, no one's used to taking responsibility for their financial investments to this degree, right? Like, you really have to build them up from the grassroots, and not being able to do like something as simple as a screenshot is so foreign to people.
Miley, let's talk you and me. You've been an investor in more than just the stock market for a while, right? So you well know that the average person can even invest in real estate without having to do it themselves.
Right.
So the whole world is pretty much catered such that if you want to even do something as simple as find you in real estate investment, which is typically, you know, you're going out, you're buying a property, maybe you're renting it out, maybe it's a fixer-upper, maybe you're flipping it after you fix it up, maybe you're renting it out after you fix it up. You know, that's pretty much it. There's not much more you can do after that. But you're earning income after that point, right? And that's what this whole thing is about, passive income.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's one thing to get capital gains. It's another thing to be able to live and not have to think about it, right? Or where your income streams are coming from, or how you can generate revenue, because there's the smartest way, right, as we all know, is multiple revenue streams. However, when you find an endeavor such as real estate, or even something like Hex, where you can set up different revenue streams across time, across assets, across asset class types, right? Like with respect to real estate, like it adds value to your whole net worth in terms of volatility, because it removes a lot of those kinks that would normally be there if you stuck with nonsense. But here's the thing. Now we have this thing called crypto, real crypto now, which can't be manipulated like we're seeing with Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're strictly correlated to the stock market. I've been talking about this for a long time. A lot of people like to dismiss it, but it's pretty obvious now. If you don't get it by now, I don't even know what to tell you. But that's just how it works, right? So those are not cryptos. Hex, while it might move for a moment, it eventually separates and does its own thing. Even if it is going down and everything else is going down, odds are Hex is ahead or behind. It's never on the same timeline. And that is the correlation. Whether you want to recognize it or not is your own problem. But that's still what the math is saying. And that's what you got to go by, because if you make the wrong decision, right, like a lot of people that have sold their Hex along every dip across this damn run, we're at like, I don't know, 3,000x right now relative to the all-time high, 5,000x that we've achieved from initial price, not all-time high to low or whatever. So that's a lot of X's. We're talking about taking a single unit of account and multiplying it by 5,000, 10,000, whatever number you want to call it. That's a lot of thousands. You just can't do that in the legacy markets. You can't do that in real estate, right? Like, talk about the kinds of returns you see in real estate, Molly. I mean, try to educate.
Oh, you're lucky if you get like 8-9% today. Like, you can barely, if you find anything double digits, crazy. Like, people are happy with like 3 and 4 caps. Like, now, like anything they can just milk out. Like,
you're right about that.
It's literally anything to just like try to match inflation at this point. So you're just not losing value on your dollar, right? Like, people are that desperate in the legacy finance system where like they're not even really beating out inflation anymore. It's just trying to maintain the wealth they have. So like, crypto is really in a league of its own. And then especially Hex, that is like the purest form of like passive income I've ever found. Like, nothing like it exists, right? And I've talked about this. Like, I've always been in the search for that pure form of passive income, and Hex truly is that, right? Like, I don't have to deal with tenants. I don't have to deal with repairs. There's nothing. I buy my Hex, I stake it with the contract, I get T-shares in return, and that just continues to give me yield as time goes on. And nothing. I don't have to deal with any middleman. It's just me and code, right? And code is incorruptible. So like, it is the truest pure form of passive income. So that's why like we're so early. We have less than 100,000 stakers. No one knows about this, and this is what everyone is seeking right now. Like, this truly shows you how, like, it's not a joke when we say it's pre-viral. Like, this shit is pre-fucking viral. And Peter Schiff is going to help us get one more step closer to virality.
He sure is.
Hell yeah!
And everybody remembers to behave when we're at the
especially you, Finbear. Especially
I promise, guys, I'm gonna be mostly quiet. I won't say like I'll do none of my jokes. I'll be really. I'll be like, I won't talk about any.
I won't even breathe.
Stuff.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Maybe you should break your Pizza Friday. Maybe you should go a little bit early and have your pizza to hold you over today for the Peter Schiff
he's not
debate.
all hangry during the debate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some sandwiches or something.
Okay, so
hey,
that works.
this thing that you talked about, guys being desperate to beat inflation. This reminds me of the video Jay just made about the trading beats they had in Africa and the effect of Europeans going to Africa and discovering that, Jesus Christ, you can use these beads for money over here. And just because the Europeans were so much more effective in producing producing beads, they got to trade everything out of the Africans' hands before they noticed that their money had overnight just turned to freaking crap. Yeah. And all this time, still they thought that they had like proper money. So what we're seeing now is sort of the central banks have been printing out our beads and buying all our shit. And now we find that it doesn't matter what size beanbag we have, it's never gonna be enough because they can always just make more at a cheaper price. It costs like 3 cents to print $100 and costs nothing to print a billion if you do it online.
Yeah.
Well, there was a. You could probably speak on this, Will, because I think you saw it. I'm not as familiar with it. What is? I believe it's called like the G7 or something like that. They're talking about essentially centralized banks coming up with their own crypto and actually being able to put the banks, the government, your employers being able to put restrictions on how you're actually able to send their version of crypto. Like little restrictions of like, oh no, you can't buy that food, or no, you can't go and you can't go on that vacation. Like literally handicapping. Not only are they issuing your money in their version of digital cryptocurrency, it's just one more level of just essentially slavery, where they're now telling you, it's like, oh yeah, we can literally turn off your money now. It's like, nope, you can't buy that.
That is correct, and this is why I try to tell people
Scary,
there is
fucking
no
scary.
way. Yeah, but this is why people have to understand there is nowhere you can go and run and hide because you don't understand what the fuck is happening, and this is why I mean I I beg people, educate yourself, educate others. You want this shit to stop, you want things to change. Step one is education, because if you're just talking about random items, random topics, and not actually the nitty gritty, like, yo, your rights are being violated because this, that, and the other. That's what's actually going on. And it happens in so many ways. I mean, look at this question here. Brother, thank you for the super chat, but please don't ever super chat me and ask me about taxes, because you're just throwing money away. Because if you've ever listened to me talk about taxes before, I say it is your responsibility to do your own research on taxes, because all I can tell you is read the paper, read the documentation that your jurisdiction has in regards to in regards to taxes. Because if you do not, then you're not going to know.
It's going to be different everywhere.
It's going to be different everywhere. And let me tell you something. If you live in the U.S., you better read it, because it don't say anywhere you got to pay taxes on crypto. So good luck to you for using them sucker CPAs that can't read. So thanks again for the super chat, bro, but don't ever do that, please. Thank you. I can't do it, I mean, look at the question.
Yeah, of course.
What can I tell you about taxes? What can I tell you about taxes? I don't know where you live, so I can't tell you a damn thing, first and foremost. Second of all, you should probably read the thing yourself so that you can comprehend the risks that you're taking on your pocket, because that's ultimately what matters. I know what I'm doing. Can't tell you what to do. So that's the whole point, right? This is what crypto is about. It's not about asking other motherfuckers for advice. And this is why you have to think about what is actually going on in the world. Why hasn't there been a way for crypto wealthy people to interject their wealth into the financial system? There is nothing like that. That ability. I mean, look at how we have to get fiat into the system and get value out of it. It's a hassle for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for that. There's a major reason for that. And the reason for that is because we're not aware that our rights are being trampled on in that respect as well. So it always goes back to education. And this is why my streams are long as fuck, because you got to know all this other shit that they lying to you about. Because everything is just layered lies on top of a layered lie, on top of another lie, on top of another lie, sandwiched between 3 more lies. It's never ending. And their whole objective is to keep your head spinning. I mean, think about it. We're talking about Peter Schiff versus Richard Hart. These people should be on the same side, funnily enough.
Yeah.
100%.
I think they're gonna find a lot of areas where they absolutely agree. I hope they begin finding those common areas, because during the Harry Dent thing, that was like a very good way for Richard to start.
It's going to fall on Peter, right? Because I think that's going to be Richard's game plan going into this. But if Peter doesn't give him the ability to do so, then it could just go the other way very quickly. So it's really relying, I think, on Peter. Richard, I think that is Richard's move, is to find the common ground, essentially show Peter his flawed logic, where they in fact both want the same thing. Peter's just using the wrong vessel to do so.
Yeah, that's the thing. So when we say, it's just funny, bro, because I had to bring myself to this point. I was a Peter Schiff. You know what I mean? Because as you go through time and you go through educating yourself on money and all these things, you get to you understand what Keynesianism is, all these different facets, right? Austrian economics, blah 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 blah. Richard, what's the name of this guy? Ricardian economics, all these different forms of economics, right? And you come to the realization that there is no good form. They're all going to have their flaws. Nothing is perfect. And because of that, all you can really do is just try to find the system that works the best and is the fairest. That's it, right? So what happens? Well, what happens is that when you allow third parties to determine what that parameter is, and not us, right, but a third party, because this is the issue. There are certain things that work when they're centralized, and then there's other things that don't work when they're centralized. And Richard talks about this all the time. But understanding that, man, for all of us now, because now we're all stakeholders, right? And this is what I think is unique in the reality of the new world that we're building that most people can't wrap their head around. We're all stakeholders here. So we all are responsible for what happens. Just like we made this NASCAR race happen, and Molly, shout out to you for that. We made that happen as a community. That shit didn't happen because Motley said, I'm going to do it. It happened because Molly said, hey, let's do it. Major difference. Major difference, because we all serve our purpose in our own way. And this isn't the first time Motley drops some shit like this. And this isn't the first time we as a community come together to do something like this, right? So we now see that we can just do whatever the fuck we want. And there's power in that. Major power in that. I've been saying this since day one. Go ahead.
Check out Kevin's message there in the comments.
Nice.
Welcome to the
congrats, brother.
Hood. Welcome to the hood, brother.
Welcome to the hood, brother. Yeah, man. That's what it's about, right? Because what this means is now you're going to be collecting every single day.
Right.
Yeah, for quite a while.
For quite a while. Yeah, I mean, yo, let's think about it.
And check this out. When they make it illegal, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. That's the beautiful part.
Yeah, then you're gonna be like, okay, so it's illegal, but I can't fucking stop it. Awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder what else there is in those law books that actually doesn't matter.
A whole lot. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. Yeah. Once people realize that we're all being lied to on a lot of levels, things change. Now, how do they change? Go ahead, bro.
Let me tell you about a wake-up I just had 30 minutes before the stream. I just realized that the European Union is working up a draft on a new all over European law that they're gonna have regarding the climate change stuff, because weather is really scary. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna take 1/3 of the landmass of Finland, and they're gonna turn it into a carbon sink for the rest of the European Union. 1/3 of our landmass is fucking Belgian. That's like the size of Belgium, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
They're gonna take that's privately owned land. Mm-hmm. That's, yeah. They're gonna take 1/3 of it and just leave it be, just to get some carbon into those forests there. Imagine, what are those guys gonna do when they realize that the government just confiscated their fucking family's 300-year-old farm and all the forests they've planted and the fields they've opened, and shit.
It's time to build a killdozer at that point.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's not get the stream pulled down, Briz.
No, everybody.
Killdozer is a legitimate thing.
Everybody knows Briz was talking about Minecraft.
Google killdozer.
Yeah. In Minecraft, you build it in Minecraft where it's safe, and even if the feds hear you, they know you're joking.
You're in the sandbox. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, right? Because Richard posted an article not too long ago. I think it was a crypto guy that wrote it. But when the government starts infringing on your ability to transact, like it infringes on all your unalienable rights, right? Like your ability to transact affects everything, and this is why like crypto is going to be that giant shift in power because it's giving it back to the people. I think in the article they referenced the printing press. Like that was the first time when like freedom of speech and people were actually able to express their views and opinions on stuff and send it out to the masses, right? You didn't have to rely on a whole nother upper echelon group of people to tell you the news. Like you were actually able to print it and send it out to everyone. And so like that was a form of like power being distributed to the people. And we're starting to see that again with our earning back our financial sovereignty through an asset class like crypto, giving our freedom back to transact. And look at the government already starting to try to fight for their own cryptocurrency to rein it back in, right? Like, hey, we'll issue you digital currency, but we'll have control over it. We'll control on how you spend that money, it's all about a sense of control for them. And they see they're losing power via crypto. Like this is going to get ugly before it gets better over the next couple of years.
100%. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I actually continue streaming is because I've realized that there's a need for people that need to know this information to know it. Because a lot of people pretend that they know shit, but they don't realize that they don't know anything. And it was by layering all these facts and figures, right, that a lot of people in this community came to realize, yo, we live in a damn lie. And that's right, we are. And if we want to live a better life for real, not no bootleg shit, right? Not what they want us to live, but a real life, the life that we want to live. Because this whole idea of scarcity is clearly false. Clearly false. I mean, we prove it day in day. Day in, day out, we prove it's false. I mean, anybody needs anything, all they got to do is say, hey, and it's taken care of. And it's not with any malice or anything like that. People are just caring, looking to look out, especially if you have value and you just are a positive aspect to the community. Nobody is out here trying to take from you. We're out here trying to look to lift each other up. And that's, a unique aspect of what we have going on here. And it really, really, really sells everything else. It really, really does. I remember when I came back from Vegas, you couldn't tell me shit. Yeah. Couldn't tell
I
me
remember
anything,
when you came back, you were freaking on fire.
Yeah,
like
bro.
That stream right after Vegas was extra special.
Yeah, man, shit's real out here, bro. Because again, it's one thing to know what you know. I know a lot of shit, but guess what? It doesn't mean a damn thing if I can't tell anybody about it. Right? Just like we all know what we know, but it don't mean a damn thing if we can't tell anybody about it. But guess what? We found a group of human beings that not only have all their own unique aspect and are successful in their own right, but they have interest in adding value to society, right? By default, not by pressure, not in a political sense, just in general because we know shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
How could that not motivate you? I don't fucking know. It motivates me every day.
What's funny is most people are inherently good too, right? Like I truly do believe that. It's just when people are put in environments and strenuous factors are put on them, that it drives them to do sometimes bad things. And I kind of got a good real world example of this when I went to Puerto Rico. They had this kind of area below Old San Juan. It's called La Perla. And essentially, if you've been to Puerto Rico, like especially now with the vaccine mandates and all this stuff, like it's crazy. Like you have to have your vaccine card, you have to get tested every 3 days to essentially live, especially in some of the bigger cities out there. Otherwise, you can't go eat, you can't go grocery shopping. Like you have to literally show people your vaccine passport essentially to get in. So crazy, right? So they have this place called La Perla, and it's where a lot of the youth go down. Like no cops go down there. Like there's like an unwritten like pact, right? Like cops don't go down there. The youth goes down there. They party. There's drugs, alcohol, music. It gets crazy. Like, and I went down there, right? And I'm a white dude that doesn't speak Spanish, so I stick out like a sore thumb. But when I was down there, I had an amazing time, right? Like respectful, follow the rules, didn't do anything stupid, and I had an amazing time. and no one did anything. I didn't see a single fight. There was no issues down there. Everyone was just having a good time, escaping this bullshit reality we've been put into. And people, even in an extreme environment like that, are still inherently good as long as you respect your fellow man.
That's right.
Almost no issues ever come of it.
That's
and
right. And
that's
that's
just
reality too. That's reality too. I mean, Molly, you and me were both thrown into the same situation. How many fights have we had? Honestly. Like, you go into the military, you deal with a lot of fucking knuckleheads, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
A whole lot of knuckleheads. Nothing but time, space, and opportunity to get in trouble exists in that environment. Because it's just like jail. Right? You dealing with a whole bunch of morons that you don't want to deal with, and you got no choice. And that's
and we coexist just fine. Even people that you wouldn't
Yep.
necessarily hang out with on a daily basis, you're able to work with them 24/7. Say like you're on deployment, right? You can't escape them. They're on the ship, and
Well,
you go about completing a difficult mission and working together, and you could hate their fucking guts, but as long as you guys share some sort of mutual respect for each other, you can coexist, no problems, and you don't need a government to intervene. You don't need any of these regulations that are enforced on people these days, because again, people for the most part, as long as everyone's respectful, are inherently good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree because all we see, I mean, look at all of us, right? I think we're just a fine example of that because no matter how big the community gets, it seems like we seem to attract the same caliber, the quality of people. Um, and that's important because that is only going to make our culture infectious, and that's the pandemic that we fucking need. You know what I'm saying? We need positive attitudes to spread like fucking wildfire. We need logic to spread like wildfire. We need people using their brain to spread like wildfire. We don't need morons listening to morons spreading like wildfire. That's not what we need, and that's not what we
Education's the key.
that's right.
That's all it is.
And we don't condone that shit over here, right? Like, hey, there's been plenty of times where I've said some shit on stream and I had to come back and be like, hey, man, I was wrong, and this is why. Nothing wrong with that. That's what growing is about, and we're here to grow. And if we're not here to grow, where the hell are we going? Nowhere.
Except for me, I'm never wrong.
Yeah, well, you know, I try, man. I'm not as good as you. You know, I mean, think about it, right? Here we are going into a pretty much. I'm gonna go on ahead and say this is gonna be historic, simply because once again, right, we find ourselves in a point in time where we're actually on the same side, but we're fighting, and yet, what are we fighting? We're fighting a ridiculous narrative, because guess what? Even if you own gold, right? If you don't own that shit in your own little safe, you don't own it. If you own it and you're storing it at some third party Brink outfit, right? Brink security or whomever, right?
Not yours.
Yeah, whoever, right? And they're watching
Peter
your,
Schiff.
Euro Pacific. That's right. Swiss AG, whoever, right? Like all these entities that are out here that hold gold for other people, right? Like there's a lot of companies that do this. And, you know, fact of the matter is, you don't own shit. They own your shit. Even if things are on paper and this and that is said, right? And all this shit. It all sounds good.
They
But
rehypothecate your gold to
they
other
do.
people.
They do. But let's not even get there, right? Let's take it one step at a time. Because fact of the matter is, right? That gold that you think you own, you don't. Now, why is that? Because the documents say this, that, and the third. Yes, the documents might say this, that, and the third. But if we've been paying attention to the past year or two, all of the documents that exist literally are irrelevant. Right? Literally. We have a document that literally states that everything that's happened in the past 2 fucking years is illegal as fuck. So don't tell me about no goddamn document and what it states.
Right.
Because clearly that's bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter, man.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
What matters is how many guns you got and how quickly you can get these motherfuckers to back up off you. Clearly that's all that matters. Look at Canada. I bet you if they were fighting a fucking army, all them pigs wouldn't have showed up at all at the border. Promise you that. Or at the Ottawa Parliament. I bet you. Because guess what? they would fucking think twice about that. But when they're just going and harassing innocent people, nothing to think about. They have all the ammo, literally. Now, how about that? That's a reality, right? How can we not come together and get our fucking shit right under this kind of scenario?
Because they create that divide against us. That's the problem, right? Like we should all be on the same side, but they intentionally create these divides amongst people. And when we all should be rallying behind what's, you know, common rights that we should all have, and yet we find ourselves divided. Cops and protesters, like they shouldn't be one against the others. They should both be supporting their rights against a tyrannical government at this point, because that's what Canada has essentially become. And they have no way to fight back, like you said. They don't have the guns, they don't have the ammo. What are they going to do?
Right.
They're going to be continue to just face this tyrannical government with no recourse. Scary.
It freaking kills me when people like just believe the news. Like people get so riled up and they're like, you know, these guys are terrible. You know what they're saying now? They're saying that the words honk means Hail Hitler.
What?
Yeah, that's why these guys are bad. All the truckers are obviously Nazis, because every time they say honk honk, it means Hail Hitler. That's why we need to hate the convoy. Dude, honestly, there's people that buy that up. They eat it up.
Nah, man. You know what? Those are the people that need to eat it up, because we don't need them motherfuckers at all, bro. Wow. That's special right there, man. I gotta tell you.
That sounds reasonable.
I don't have any words for that. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm really in shock right now.
But you have to see, like, this is the game that they're playing. They try to find any guilt by association to
100%, 100%. Okay, so check this out. Check this out.
Or whatever.
I got a little legal update, because as you guys know, it's kind of my hobby. I watch what happens in paper because that's what matters. So today, as you all probably know, the state of New York is finding any and every reason to basically put a headline out there against Trump. And today, it came to light that two of the lawyers or investigators, I got to go back and look at it, but either or, two of the parties, two of the personnel involved in, I think they're DA personnel, district attorney personnel to boot. So this is actually pretty fucking important. Let me take a look again, because this is again relevant to everything we're talking about. Like, every single aspect of the system and how it hasn't worked and how it's working now, all of a sudden, is the reason why things happened the way that they did. Let's see. I'm getting close to the headline. Yeah. Where the fuck is it?
While you're searching, I can tell you, Frosty Dog, Trump 2024 is never going to happen.
Nah.
No, he got into power because they wanted him there. Like if you guys still think that it was a mistake that Trump got elected, like every election globally has gone the way they wanted ever since, and even before. So it's pretty safe to assume they had all the power they needed to get anybody they wanted into power when Trump won. But instead what they did was they let Trump win because there was 4 years of time to drive a wedge between our families and make cousins hate each other, make you leave your stupid uncle or your like stupid relatives and never talk to your dad again. Now that stuff has been going on for more than 5 years. It's so much easier to get us all confused and fucked up over some other random shit. So Trump was there on purpose. He was put there to do what he needed to do, and now everybody is sort of out of focus enough for them to start to make the bigger moves.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot going on. Go ahead, brother.
I just said, like, I haven't even really thought about it like that, and like, because, there's so much information out there, right? And it's like, it's like trying to figure out. It's like a freaking jigsaw puzzle, and none of the pieces fit together. And you're trying to like, and everybody's out here trying to figure out like what's right, And so it's just crazy with all the media and BS that's out there.
Yeah. So yeah, Trump 2024 ain't gonna happen.
Sorry guys, there's some loud music in the background, but check it out. So I just dropped the link in the chat, and that's supposed to be the URL for the event. So just check it out. I don't know exactly what it does or takes you to, but check it out. Let me know if I need to get it again or whatever. Thank you guys for the super chats, because we definitely just talked all over them. Balliet and Crypto Gym Rat. Thank you, gentlemen, for both of these super chats. Oh, nope. Dolomite. Sorry, not Balliet Brand. Just looked like it on the little thing up there. I'm getting old, I guess. Thank you, brother, for the super chats. Yeah, I mean, we're just regular people having a good time, having a good conversation, and we're just talking about reality, and not the one that is pitched to us on TV, which is pretty important, because that's the one that matters. Yeah.
Hey, can you share a short video I'm gonna share with you on Telegram, Wales?
As long as it has no copyright issues.
No, it's news clips. No music or anything. Yeah, just a second, I'll get it for you.
Sure. No worries, bro. But yeah. So, what the hell was I gonna say? Prosecutors. So they were 2 prosecutors for the DA that had to resign today that were working on trying to pin something on Trump. Literally, that's all these people have been working on since 2016. Literally. Right. So again, it's just like Michael said, or Finbear said, right? He's just trying to find ways to get people to find ways to argue with each other, man. Just divide and conquer, right?
Yeah.
As always.
Just as long as we disagree on something, we're gonna be sort of adequately spread apart for us not to find each other and find the force that we are together. Check out the video, Wales.
I've got it right now. I'm gonna pull it up. What's going on, Ginger Man?
What's up, guys? This conversation was just too good. I've been working, but I'm gonna keep working in the background. But this conversation was just too good to.
Ginger Diamond.
What's up, man?
I made your avatar for you.
That was you, dude.
Hey.
It wasn't me.
Hey, Wales, before you share this, why not read the text which was attached?
So the text says, that face when you need this war so bad. You're not just making sure it's the same talking points in all languages, but you send the same guy. Boom! Let's get to it. Everybody mute yourself, please. This should be good.
Forces in the east, the Donbass region, for 8 years now. But despite that, the capital city of Kiev is relatively calm. Natürlich sich an einen gewissen Sinn und der Krieg gewinnt, den natürlich schon am Gang ist, am Osten, an der Donbass-Region, zwischen der Ukraine, an der russischen Separatisten, dos reuniones que va a mantener el presidente francés hoy en Moscú con el presidente ruso Vladimir Putin y mañana aquí en Kiev con el presidente ucraniano Volodymyr Zelensky. Moscovo brandiu o anúncio de retirada da terça-feira como prova de que os temores da guerra foram fabricados por Ocidente hostil liderado par les États-Unis. À ce stade, la guerre semble probable, c'est aussi simple que cela. Mais il y a encore cette petite lueur d'espoir que la diplomatie puisse arrêter une invasion russe de l'Ukraine. Das ist genau das, was sie erwartet hatten. Desinformation, gefälschte Angriffe und für Russland in die Ukraine einzumarschieren. Aber alles ist sehr schwer natürlich vor Ort zu überprüfen.
All right. So,
oh my God, how many languages does that guy speak?
That motherfucker spoke at least 10 languages.
Yeah. Dude's like Agent Smith in the Matrix, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like fluently too.
At least 6 for real. At least 6 for real. That was 6 for real.
How important are those talking points when only one guy knows all of them in the correct order and he can recite the chant in such a way that everybody believes him?
I mean, well, the crazy thing is, this is the most important reality of this, right? Because you're always going to have people that are going to question, oh, is it real? Is it fake? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the whole point. The fact that you can't ascertain whether it is or it is not.
That's the key.
That's the
Yeah,
whole
confusion.
point.
Confusion is the key, right? So it's like,
And this deep fake shit, this came about right after these certain videos popped up on the dark web that nobody can talk about on the
that's just so they don't exactly. That's just to get you off the scent because they don't want you talking about certain things. Stop believing that everything is fake. Everything ain't fake, yo. A lot of these people are criminals. A lot of these people are pedophiles. A lot of these people are junkies playing a part. There's plenty. Yo, how many Hollywood people, how many entertainers do we not know that have addiction problems?
Yeah.
And a discussion. So stop acting like a schmuck, put your head out your ass, and stop believing every lie that's pitched to you, because that's the fucking problem. People that believe all these lies are the fucking problem. What you fail to realize is not whether something is real or not. What you fail to realize is that the fact that you can't tell is the problem. The fact that you have to try to figure it out is the problem.
I may have a sort of a relief for everybody. This was a big thing for me to sort of realize, and this happened to me like just a few years ago, but I can pretty safely say that I don't believe something that is told to me on the news, and it still doesn't mean that I'm responsible for knowing what really transpired. I can't fucking know that. I'm a guy in my boxers sitting on my chair here talking to you guys. How the fuck would I know what happened on a certain day in New York where like planes were flying about? Like I don't know, but I can say that I don't believe what I'm being told. Without like that's an important thing to realize. Like you don't have to believe everything. And even if you don't believe everything, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You can just say that all the facts that are shown to me, these don't make a lick of sense. So I'm not having it. Like keep your cake. Looks like bullshit to me. Hopefully I made some sense and didn't just ramble on.
No, you're good. I think the ultimate reality of the point you're trying to make is that people just are not comfortable with the idea of having to defend themselves. They're just not used to it.
Or the idea of not knowing.
Or the idea of not knowing. That's right, because that's one of the same.
Yeah, that's like with my kids. They're like the twins are 9 and their sister is 10. And they keep asking me all kinds of difficult shit. Every now and then I have to go like, guys, I don't know this. We're going to have to start looking some shit up.
And the other problem is that people think that people in positions of power will never lie to you.
Oh, man, that one.
Why would they lie to me?
That one fucking kills me. It's like, yo, what have you not been paying attention to for the past your whole life?
Why would my college professor lie to me? Why?
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's being paid.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally the answer. They are paid a lot of you.
And academia is such a freaking cesspool. If you think about the people who run it now, they're the product of teachers who were themselves in the universities in the early 70s when it was like very much anti-American sentiment and anti-war during the Vietnam shit. That's when they were themselves in universities, and once Vietnam was over, everybody just got tenure because they were already hanging at the university. So all of a sudden, universities doubled in size. And where did all those people go? They went into like HR and whatever, all kinds of stupid programs that have nothing to do with academia or like gaining more knowledge, but just to be like extra cogs in the wheel that nobody needs, but they're in there trying to make themselves important in the process. But like if you think about what they've done, they've just rotted the system from inside. So they're in there deciding what is being brought to what are they called, teacher colleges, or the places where teachers go to graduate. I
think so.
Yeah.
Be right back.
So like the stuff that they teach in the teachers colleges now is like pretty horrendous. I've seen some short video clips about the content that they go through in a semester, and it's pretty much like you know, bad whitey is pretty much the theme, and those are the guys who are teaching all of your kids if they're in public school. They hate all of you, like with a passion.
Breaking news. Apparently, Canada is about to, Mr. Dickhead is about to revoke the Emergency Act, apparently. So we shall see. Might be a historical day on many fronts.
Oh, right. That would be a good one.
Well, he better do something before it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Why would two prosecutors for the state of New York, why would the home team with all the advantages have people quitting the team? People got to think about that, because there's a whole lot of that going on. Doesn't make sense if you're winning the game. Does it? Something to think about. Right?
What do you mean by that, Will? So I'm not quite tracking with you.
So today came to light that two of the prosecutors that have been trying to basically pin anything on Trump for the past 6 years quit today, or got fired, basically. So if you're winning, why are you quitting the game?
Well, that's because they're not winning, right? It's like, yeah, there's nothing to pin.
Precisely.
Was it like regarding the Durham investigations?
Correct. Well, probably related, but it didn't come up saying it was.
Yeah, somebody in the chat already.
Probably related.
Yeah,
it's probably. I haven't looked into the details yet because I haven't had the time, because it just came out to light earlier. But
yeah, when you investigate Trump, you quit because you can't find anything, and when you investigate the Clintons, you
die.
Randomly die.
Arkansas.
Yeah. Truth.
Fell off this cliff.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Yo, what up?
Horrible car accident.
Right. They got the brake lines on me. Sorry.
Yo, it's crazy. There's a long list of dead bodies.
With a nail gun. There's like 200 people or something who have died connected to the Clintons. The list is it reads like
that we know of.
Right. That we know of. Thank you for the update there, Crypto Goose. I didn't know. Haven't been watching the headlines. But this is critical, right?
Okay. Just to prove they are non-violent is what I think you were trying to type there. Not.
Yeah. Not now violent.
They are now.
I didn't even see that. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, look, guys. It's about understanding who you are, where you stand, and what your power is. No fucking body. Just like I can't tell you what to do, nobody else can tell you what to do. Literally. It's all the same. There is no difference. I mean, this is coming from somebody that was in the military, right? Like, yo, nobody can tell you what to do. Even in the military, when they give you orders, they have to be a specific type of order. And that specificity is, guess what? A lawful order.
Has to be lawful.
Must be. It cannot be, hey, go kill that guy just because it's fucking Friday, 2 o'clock, and I'm hungry. Not how it works. So, right, all these things, they're important to understand. Very important.
Yeah.
Right, because this is what happens.
There are
right?
rules, right?
All these guys, all these cops, all these people working for the man that are following these illegal orders are going to be subject to consequences for their actions. You better believe it. Out your fucking mind. Imagine if your neighbor comes to you with uniform on, points his weapon at you. That's not what the fuck time it is. That's not this era, bro. Nah, I'm shooting back at your ass. I dare you, motherfucker. I dare you. Hey, there's an oath. There's an oath that we take now. There's an oath that we take when we join the military. And it's very straightforward. You read that shit. It's not like it's rocket science. No degree required to repeat, regurgitate, and understand what's being said. So whoever is willingly capable of being a traitor to their own family members is clearly, definitely not worthy of life. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, because that's where we're heading right now. Just like they did in the 50s, right? With the Cold War and before that, right? This is about creating this division. And the reality is that we have to do it first because we have to eliminate the threat. The threat is already here. Us good people can't sit here and do nothing. Go ahead, Briz. My bad.
Wells, I want to ask you a question. Remember the Boston bombing, the marathon?
That was a false flag. Yep.
And they went through the Watertown.
Yep.
The kid was hiding in the boat. What do you think about that? Where it basically had militarized police going house to house.
Good question. Yeah. So that was a setup, right? And how do those setups happen? Well, if you've ever seen Enemy of the State, it's something like that, honestly. Because
the Russians warned about those guys in advance. Like, I think Putin said that, like, what does he have to do? Like, does he have to send the emails about the terrorists who left?
Stop it. There's no such thing as terrorists. I'm gonna stop y'all with that shit right now. You wanna know how I know? Because I ain't never found one. Now, why do I matter? Well, I matter because I was out there looking for them, and that was a story that was being sold to motherfuckers. So they're not out. They don't exist.
But terrorism is a big business for those who are hunting it.
That's 100%. 100%.
One interesting thing, do you want to guess who was the doctor who was giving out interviews during the Boston bombing?
Let me take a wild guess.
That same fucking crazy-eyed Chinese lady who's now talking about masks and not letting unvaccinated people into stores, and that same woman. She was the doctor giving out interviews about what has happened and like, coincidence. Wow.
Did you guys see, I don't know if anybody saw this, but last week sometime, the mayor of Boston was doing like a live session on Instagram or some shit. I don't know what it was, but you can see the live, like the chats people were typing it live on the video. Like, it was recorded and posted online so people could see it. Like, it was published. And everybody was lighting her up, because of all the mag. I think it was right after the Super Bowl too. So everybody had the Super Bowl fresh in their mind. What's up with the mask? Get the mask. All this. So eventually they had to crush. They had to get rid of all that. They had to nix all that mask crap to the point that now it's no longer really a thing over there. So that's how it works. You have to speak up. You got to stand up. You don't just let these motherfuckers say and do what you're going to do with your life and your time and your body. That's crazy. Imagine all these people. Oh, and I just got a medical up there earlier. I'll show this in a moment. Imagine all these people that literally just said, okay, if I got to take this shot, I'll take this shot, whatever the fuck, and they're not thinking anything of it. And then here we are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months later. Oh, you might have AIDS, or hey, you might have syphilis. Syphilis, folks.
Jesus.
That's the latest. Yeah.
Yeah, I know like people around me who've died with COVID, died with COVID. Let's just make it 100% clear. Like, I know it's happened, but lately, like the news I'm hearing, like I know someone personally who works for a local hospital. In our local hospital, everyone was getting forced to get the shot. And this lady in her probably young 50s worked at the hospital her whole life. We went, like, she was our old neighbor, and every Christmas we go around and we deliver cookies to all of our neighbors, even our old ones. We stopped by this lady's house to deliver her cookies, and they're like, oh, sorry, she died of a heart attack. Died.
Yeah.
So much for that.
It's like
we just had a young guy die in the army, just like in his sleep or something. That happens like once in every 20 years or something. But now they started to vaccinate the new recruits. Another coinkydink. But there you go. Like, whatever, just as long as the donuts go down, I guess.
Yep. So it's like I know more people personally. That's what you just had to get. Like how many people do you actually know personally? Like, turn the news off. Like, how many people do you actually know?
Yeah.
Right. Which it does happen, and it sucks. Like, COVID has killed people. Like, that's the reality. But like, we can't. It doesn't necessitate like what's actually going on. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, the point isn't like the fact that like, yeah, there's probably people in this chat who maybe have had people, lost people to COVID, but that's just not the point. The point is the reaction.
I don't believe there is. There's like only 400 people here. There's probably nobody in the chat who knows anybody like in their family who's died. You might have heard about somebody like speaking at a gas station, but you don't know that guy. So that doesn't count.
Nice. Congrats. Yeah.
That's like,
so, shout out to Marco. Shout out to
Think about this. Like, when's the last time you had to dust out your funeral clothes? I've lived in this house for a bit over a year. They're still in the fucking bag over there in the cupboard.
Thank you for the super chat, guys. I mean, look, if there's one thing we should all know by now is that this whole thing was a manipulated effort using fake tests that weren't even used for the right reason. Like the PCR test is not designed to determine biomass, period, in a DNA sample. It's not for that. So look it up if you don't know. Figure it out if you don't know. But that's a fact. So every single so-called positive instance of a Rona case was not that. So whatever people had, they don't actually fucking know. Whatever people die from, they don't actually fucking know because they've been lied to because everybody's been complicit in this goddamn scam. Yeah. Period. End of discussion. Everybody. Schools, the medical industry, pharmaceutical industry, governments, corporations of every shape and fucking color. That's a fact.
And I bet if you take the personnel and start shaking them down, you'll find quite a few people who are like working under some young global leader in your country.
How the fuck is it that this one entity literally touches all of these other entities and is directing exactly what happens? Because everything happens everywhere in the same way, shape, or form, just on different timelines.
Yeah, and they even bragged about it already in 2017.
Well, they don't hide shit.
That they've infiltrated all the governments in like all the countries.
Bro, hold on. I've been streaming about this for a year. They don't hide nothing.
Yeah. That's
so true. If you ain't been hearing me telling you to go look at them and not paying attention to what they are doing,
looking at them.
That's your own fault. Because guess what? When you get clotheslined, whose fault is that? Your own fault. It ain't nobody else's.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? And that's important because how do we differentiate, right, ourselves from being winners and losers in this game of life? It's easy to lose, man. It's hard as F to win.
Yeah.
Look at, there's a lot of people that have been dying because they were too gullible to ascertain their own sovereignty and understand that nobody can tell them what to do with their body. Just simple test of, do you know what your fucking freedoms are? A lot of motherfuckers failed that shit and they dying because of that. And they getting all kinds of funky medical shit happening to them on top of that. So if you're not dying, then some funky medical shit is happening to you. Why? Because you decided to comply and not think for yourself and not realize that some random motherfucker cannot tell you what to do. Period. End of discussion. And Canada just showed us. Look at New Zealand. Look at Australia. All these fucking places finally put their heads out of their asses. Congratulations to them. But it took 2 fucking years, a lot of dead bodies, a lot of fucking psychological motherfucking effects that can't be reversed.
But one thing that I'm really disappointed was that the German crematoriums got jammed up immediately.
Did they really?
Yeah, that was like all over the news over here. Like, we have to build more facilities. We can't dispose of these bodies. And I'm like, surely you're joking, sir.
I remember when that was the news all over China. They're talking about burning people alive and stuff.
So it's bullshit. It was
I remember seeing the videos of people. I'm sorry, I just remember like watching videos of Chinese people just falling face forward on the street.
Yeah,
and they're like,
the
"Yeah,
guys coming,
this is COVID."
Yeah, and the guys come in looking like they come from an auto painting shop with the white overalls and the
Yeah.
eye protection. I fell for it too, man. I was horrified for like a month or something, like January maybe.
Oh, dude, I bought like 100 canned soups.
I'm sorry.
I
still got those
weird.
fucking soups, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I knew that shit was a scam as soon as I fucking heard about it. And I heard about it in 2019, actually, towards the end. It's either October or December. I can't remember. But as soon as I heard that bullshit.
Yeah. I heard about strange goings on in China
Because
already.
here's the
like
thing. I don't know if you guys realize this, but they
2019.
try this all the time. This is not the first time. Ebola, HRN1, bird flu, all this bullshit is the
Pig
fucking
flu.
same.
Yeah.
Pig
Bird
flu,
flu.
mad cow, fucking, you know,
yeah, mad
butt
cow.
fluff, whatever. All this shit is all the same, man. All this shit is the same. Yeah, the dengue, all this bullshit is the same. All of it.
Well, yeah, dengue fever is actually like a real thing.
Nah, bro.
People die from it like all the time.
I don't know.
I wouldn't get vaccinated. Like, I think there's like stuff you can take.
If they gotta sell you something, bro,
some
it's fake. That's all I know. I suggest you stick to that rule. You can't lose. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know, man.
I do.
Dengue fever, tsetse flies, shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
again,
I'll
if they're selling you something, that's the conditional, right? If they're selling you something on the back of that thing, then there's a scam going on there. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Think about it. Do you need to be told to stay
Hexican
alive?
Hexican Papa has the answer there. That's the reason why it's not a thing. Yeah.
There you go.
I just want to be invited to the depopulation council.
Yeah. I can point out a few people.
I
can point out.
Yeah.
I just
well,
want to
look,
represent. Man.
If you want to sit at the table,
this is why it's a bad idea. Like, there's people in the audience who would find me choosing who to get rid of a horrible idea, and vice versa. So that's why I say let's nobody do it, and let's try to keep things as it is. And call the genocide like Plan C or something.
Sorry, guys, I had to pick up a call, but yeah, I mean, it's those kind of things, right? It's like, well, who gets to say what and why? That's one of those questions that are hard to answer because everybody's qualified in some way, shape, or form, and this is the problem, right?
It's not the experts. Please do not ask the experts. That's like the biggest mistake.
Right.
They pay no price for the mistakes they make.
None. Zero.
Nobody elected them. They it's completely risk off, sort of a hunch feeling because I'm an expert in linguistics or something. I have this feeling that I might also be good in solving your foreign relations issues and whatever. And that they start to give out all kinds of strange guesses into the nature of things. But just because you're good at something like cosmology or whatever, doesn't mean that your opinions matter at all when it comes to like trade or.
The real problem is that all of our institutional, knowledge is so compartmentalized.
Exactly.
These guys know about this. These guys know about this. These guys know about that. But then it's only the people on top that know the whole story.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's not a lot of that sort of overarching knowledge where you have like a sort of a solid base understanding into a lot of things, and you'd be smart enough to ask the right people the right questions when you come to a subject that you don't understand.
Yeah, but I talk about that all the time. I'm like, why is it that they want to pigeonhole people, right? They always want you to know one thing and one thing well, and they want to incentivize you well for strictly doing that and nothing else. This is what PhD programs are for, right? Like, how is it that, I mean, those motherfuckers are free. Like, you can get a PhD for free if you hit the right lick. You know what I mean? So it's important you understand all the nuances in the system, right? Because nothing is free. Everything is set up a certain way by design. And you got to realize that. Like, nobody is out here trying to give nothing away, right? And this is why now all of a sudden you have all these central banks, all these states, in trying to either issue their own digital currency if you're a central bank, their own CBDC, or trying to issue their own stable coin if they're a state. I mean, I've been talking about this too for a year. These guys got no choice but to comply to our demands because we say so. Period. So stop playing yourself, educate yourself, listen to the things that are being shared on these streams, do your due diligence, understand, right? Because we're all capable.
I've been typing this in all the chats, and the guys always ignore it and never put it up or read it out loud. But we are so many, like Motley likes to say, we are legion. Like, guys, we can drown, we can drown those fuckers in our piss. Like, if we say no, this ends right now.
Yeah.
The amount of people that it takes to hurt us is, like, it's insultingly low.
Yeah, but
like
the problem is all the useful idiots.
Over here we have 1 police officer per 100,000 people, or something like that. So what is he gonna? What is he gonna do if we say no? Not gonna do it, or even if we had, like,
it's not him.
I'm sure we
it's
got
the
more
morons
over
that
here.
don't realize that he doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Up.
Because he's gonna deputize them.
Hold on, bro.
He's gonna
Emergencies
deputize
Act
them.
has just been revoked. Congratulations,
In Canada.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Canada. Let's see if they follow up with pulling everything up, you know, basically ending all the Rona nonsense too, because they got no choice. It's over everywhere else. Only the places with the strongest commie holes are still enacting that Rona bullshit.
Yeah, like my state.
That's Finland and Germany.
Mine too. Don't feel alone.
Yeah, we just got news that they're gonna release it on March 22nd. It's like,
why wait a whole fucking month, bro?
It's so annoying.
It's so stupid.
And people are just like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, good idea. Let's wear our masks for another 2 months. It's like,
correct.
Are you freaking kidding me, guys? Like, why? It's like, I'm still walking around the store. 99% of people are masked, and I'm walking around. I'm just like, what the heck? Like,
you know what
why?
you should do? Just like break wind every time you see somebody wearing a mask. Just a small, like a gentleman.
I wish I could on cue.
And then they're like, how dare you, sir? And you can say, like, madam, the methane gas that you smell, the molecule is 80 times bigger than any virus. So I'm sure your mask caught all of my accidental.
And it came directly from your ass.
Besides, I let it all out for me, so get your own, lady.
Yeah.
Give me a second, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna huff Finbear's farts, it's gonna be Finbear, all right?
God damn it.
So, congratulations to Canada. It finally happened. You know, you guys got to keep pushing to make sure these losers get rid of everything else. And then keep pushing to make sure you get rid of those losers as well. Because here's the thing. This is just step one. We're at the ground floor of our new future. Now, what do I mean? Well, very nice. Mr. Unwrecked.
They're going to bring it down. Like
what's going on, brother? Hold on, man.
Hey,
what's
man.
going on, Unwrecked?
What's up?
Millions. Just woke up and just having a cup of coffee, and I saw the link there, so I thought I'd click on it. Can you hear me okay?
Brother. Yeah, we hear you just fine, man. Welcome aboard.
Beautiful. No worries. How you going? Hour and a half.
Nice, man.
No, it's like 20 minutes left.
Bit and beer, my man.
Yeah. We I think hold on, I think it's at 5:30. I don't think it's at 5.
It's on 5.
It's
at 5.
There we go.
Is it on the hour?
6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's exciting. How's all doing?
Doing great, brother.
Great.
Just having a great conversation.
Yeah, the Canadians took down the stupid emergency measures they had going. So looks like the Canadians are finally catching a break.
In Washington, we still have emergency powers. Our governor still has them.
Yeah, but they dropped like in DC. They dropped the mat. Oh, you mean the state? Sorry,
Washington State.
Yeah, sorry. No, that's a kind of
like
stronghold over there.
HEX.LIVE said, where the run on the banks is probably what
caused it.
The fold. Yeah.
Yep, that was last week too. But people haven't stopped. They kept going, and kept going. And that's the thing. You have to know what is right and what is not. And this is the whole point, right? If you don't know your basic rights, man, what are you going to do? And I guess people are putting in the YouTube link for the debate in the chat. So yeah, it's getting ready, man. That shit's gonna be freaking. Oh yeah, I made this point. I made this point at the beginning. I forgot about that one. So funny how dumb people are. It's incredible.
I'm just surprised people keep their money in the bank. You ever see that meme where it's like the wife calls the husband, "Honey, the bank says we're broke," and he's like, he shows his hardware wallet.
Right. Psych. Not really.
Yep. Freaking fiat, dude.
Yeah, well, it's the system. See, and this is the thing. Now people have seen what actually happens when they don't have control over their money. You know, maybe people now realize that they don't have control over their money. You know, maybe they now realize that they don't have control over a lot of aspects of their life that they thought they had. Because it's important people realize that.
Yeah, you can lose confidence in your money only once, I think.
I would hope. I mean,
because if you don't act after it, you're a freaking moron.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you can't like kiss and make up after closing somebody's bank accounts and taking away their money.
That's why so many people, like in from the Great Depression, you know, you hear about their grandmas always like saving everything, you know, collecting all this little stuff, and just like, you know, you're like, grandma, like we live in a time of abundance, and she's like, bitch, I lived when there was nothing. Trust me.
This shit can run out any day, man.
Yeah.
Shut up. Take your yogurt cans and put them in the cupboard.
Yogurt.
Seriously, like that's my grandma died, and like a big part of her belongings were these empty plastic yogurt cups that she'd collected for like 15 years or something. Because just in case she wants to plant tomatoes, she had read that planting tomatoes was like fashionable. She never planted a single tomato, but we took out a lot of yogurt cans.
There you go. Whole lot of yogurt. And thank you for the super chat, brother. Yeah, there's always another trick up their sleeves, and this is why you gotta know your rules, know your laws, know all these things, and just know, right, what's right and what's wrong. Because they're gonna tell you whatever they want. Look at Australia, look at New Zealand, look at Canada. Don't forget. Make them fucking pay. Shit ain't free. People suffered, people bled, people died over these past 2 years for literally no reason.
Yeah, they set themselves up like the governments are like that. The governments are like, I mean, what else can they do? You can sort of say, well, what else can they do? But the fact is, the arrogance of it, the fact that they are saying that they're bigger than business, they're bigger than we're running the show and we're going to do this, and it's all the statute laws that have been like hard fought and won over many, many years that are put in place just with some emergency clause. They've just come and taken the whole lot of it off at the need and basically trying to imprison people in their homes and calling it safety reasons or, you know, pandemic reasons. I think, and then as you see, there's a real groundswell now against that, where people, the power of the people, just saying, hang on, we're not going to have that. This is a basic breach of human rights. The fact that they're trying to mandate these this medical procedure or this research chemical that they're mandating that you inject in your body. Is this sort of along the lines of what we're talking about here, you guys?
Correct.
We're kind of on the same page, and and the money's just another thing to do with that as well. The crypto they're recognizing is destabilizing their power base. So we're like, you know, they're trying to move in there, and they're trying to like, you know, take action. And
right.
but yeah, so we got to. It's probably an intergenerational thing. It's not going to take. Could take 30 years, 40 years. Could be our lifetime. I don't know, but you know, it's like when they implemented seatbelts. No one wanted to wear a seatbelt in a car, but then so every year went by, more people died on the roads, and then slowly but surely the human behaviour has changed to have to click on there. Now when you get in a car, it's almost automatic to put a seatbelt.
And real quick, a little funny side note about the whole seatbelt thing. A lot of car manufacturers didn't want to put seatbelts in their cars because it would imply that the car was unsafe.
Safe, all right. Yep, which is true. Does imply that. Right? Why else would you need it?
Yeah. Well, you don't have a safe car or what?
We don't want to bring the safety thing into this. They're already inside the car. That's the safest place they can be. It's the outside where the danger is, not in here. Actually, it was the Swedes, I think it was Volvo, who came up with the three-point seatbelt. And they took the patent. They took the patent for it and let everybody use it for free.
Yeah, I don't think there is a patent on that
good
shit.
Guy.
Yeah,
there is. They took it to secure it so nobody else takes it.
Ah, okay.
But they gave it for free for anybody to use. So they sort of made it like, what's it called? Common public domain.
Yeah, public domain is the term. Yeah. Right. Cool. Good to know. I didn't know that. So for those that are watching on YouTube, I pinned the YouTube link in the chat. So hopefully you can see it. That's where you go.
Yeah, I went and I subscribed, and I was there just earlier before I joined the stream. The channel had 79 subscribers. Now that I went and looked, it was already over 900 and something.
Nah, I'm not doing a live reaction to the debate. Sorry. It's probably a good idea, though. like an announcer, you know, but we were told not to do that. So
let's do one in the green room anyway.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I got shit I gotta do, bro. I listen to that shit like on the side, but
all right.
I'm probably gonna go run or something. Too nice out. It's like it was really nice over here today, so I ain't staying inside. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Nah, that's cool.
I'm getting out on the bike. I'm going for a ride.
Yeah, it's gonna snow Friday, but it's like summer over here today, so I gotta act like I'm in Australia. Like, all right.
It's literally snowing outside right now. In Oklahoma, man.
It was pretty nippy over here, so I took the extra effort and I checked how much it is in Fahrenheit. It was like -11 today. So the kids were happy because there's no skiing in school when it's -11.
Oh, that's a shame.
Awesome, no skiing.
Yeah. Wow.
So guys, this is gonna be. Remember what this debate is about, right? This debate is ultimately going to get us to have more people exposed to crypto and what crypto is.
Right.
It is not gold against crypto because it's really the same debate. The only reason gold is inferior is because it's manipulated by centralized parties that have structured a whole system around being able to manipulate that same asset class along with all the others. And I've done, every stream I've done has highlighted this in one shape, way, form, or something, right? So this is not made up. This is real. Understand that, right? This is the reason crypto exists, because we've already had, like, for those that don't know, gold is the original crypto, because when the bankers, those that run the world, when the bankers were creating their crashes back in the day, what were they doing? Well, they were selling their stocks and taking their fiat value and transplanting it from equities and bonds into gold, precious metals, because that's the way it's always worked. So this is why, even though you see that gold did outperform from 2007 to 2011, and then it went sideways to down for the next 10, 11 years. Well, now it's hitting this point where it's potentially breaking out. And it's important people understand that. Because just because it's breaking out doesn't mean it's going to outperform Hex. It's just time. Because what you have to understand is that the dollar is toast, right? When
Yeah.
GDP is just constantly up and to the right, and it's merely a function of the value of the goods produced and sold, not the units, but a function of the value, right? That's important to understand that difference, because what that means is that we're accounting for a devaluation in the currency by noting an increased valuation in GDP. And that's a reality, right? People don't really realize that, but that's the math. And you can read it just by looking at the definition of what gross domestic product is when they report it. It's literally just the value of the goods that they're accounting for. So that means that we could have less units accounted for and not know it, simply because they're tracking the fiat value, which is how they mask the destruction of the system. Because what they trick you is with the thought that, hey, those gains, i.e., the cost of acquiring said things, whether it's food, right, assets, living arrangements, whatever it is, clothing, it goes up. But guess what doesn't go up? Your salary.
wages.
Yeah, your wages don't go
Yeah,
up. That's right.
exactly.
Creative bookkeeping. I mean, the market's detached from the economy. We see it over here where, like, they keep sprouting off of how good the employment rates are and da. We're getting back on track and blah blah blah. Mate, there's people sleeping in the streets begging. It's disgraceful. We let people slip through the cracks like that. This system is broken. There needs to be. I mean, how do you address that? But I think there's just based on what you're saying about GDP and growth and things like that. There's a really good book for, I think, Hexicans to read, and it's an old book from, and you probably heard of it, Think and Grow Rich. Talks about economic energy and all of this stuff that sort of aligns with, I guess, some of the Hexican values as well. And I think that sort of ties in with the point you're making, Wales. But yeah, look, there's the detachment from the market to the actual real economy and the GDP and the creative bookkeeping that we see in the numbers and the lies is if you're woke, you can see right through all this stuff. You know, like we know that we're holding what we're holding in as far as digital assets, and in particular Hex is like, to me it's what gives us the freedom of choice, and also it frees our mind, and we don't have to comply with tyranny.
Another real quick video that I just saw the other day. I thought it was really interesting, and I think everyone in the space would be interested in it. I saw this video on YouTube. It's called "The Rise of Paper Money in China." It's about 15 minutes, and it was really interesting. I think everyone would get a kick out of it.
Yeah, because what's interesting is that China has already flexing their use of CBDC. Right, the CCP has already pushed. Peace out, Molly. Has already pushed. The CCB has already pushed the PBOC, which is the Public Bank of China, People's Bank of China, excuse me, to essentially start using the CBDC in a trial run during the Olympics that nobody watched. So they already got it out there. They're already doing what they want to do. And if they're doing what they want to do, well, that's on the Chinese, right? Like, that's their problem. I don't really know what to tell anybody that lives in that country. It's just a fucking joke, right? Like, nobody there even cares that they're just cattle. So, you know, whatever works for them. I mean, you can't help anybody that isn't willing to help themselves anyway. So, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of good cultural. I mean, the people are wonderful, but like,
they are.
The government is like, it's tyrannical. It's almost like,
it's nasty.
How can we have this?
One good proof for this. One good proof for this is anywhere that the Chinese have immigrated to. They quickly become.
They add value.
Yeah, they become a valuable resource to the community, because they as people are so industrious and hardworking. But it is the system that they're working in or under, which is absolutely horrible.
Yep.
That's a fact, unfortunately. And I mean, this is, yeah, and that kind of like, again, and this is the comment I just want to talk about real quick. You know, I disagree, and wholeheartedly. And the reason I disagree wholeheartedly is because everything wrecks people, right? If people don't know what they're doing, they're gonna get wrecked. Don't think that there isn't anybody out there that hasn't gotten wrecked trying to buy precious metals, because then you'd be lying to yourself.
McDonald's will ruin you.
Period.
We're our own worst enemies.
That's right.
Facts. You know,
That's
own
right.
it.
You gotta own it. If you can't own that, there is no room for you to have any success in your life. Period. Because you're not respecting the reality of how things are, not what you want them to be. Right? And that's powerful, because that is how you don't play yourself and you don't wreck yourself, right? Because it's very easy. It's so easy to do that. Right? I mean, until you start winning, all you're doing is wrecking yourself and lying to yourself and just giving yourself all these ideas that aren't necessarily true, right? I mean, imagine thinking that this statement was true. We all know it's not.
Hey, can
It's
we
excuse.
can we let Big K on?
Yeah, man. I thought Big K was in the. Give him the link, bro. Yeah.
What's your what's your handle?
I should. Yeah, I think I got him in my Telegram.
Okay, yeah, because yes, you probably have messaged him more than I have.
I'm not finding him right now. What the hell? Oh, I think I know why. Let's see. No Masala. You good? What's going on?
Are you Big Kurkowski on Telegram?
Yeah, he should be.
I'm gonna go and see if I can find him, man.
Yo, tell him K, hit me up on Telegram or on Twitter, bro. Hold on. I'll send it to you on Twitter. I know I got you on Twitter. I'm slow. My bad. Yep.
Yeah, right. You do it.
Got him. I already sent it to you on Twitter, bro. You just saying Telegram. But yeah, so I don't agree with the statement that crypto will get you wrecked. Anything will get you wrecked, right? I mean, if you're out here paying hookers every day, that's gonna wreck you too.
Guys,
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody shut up. It's happening. It's starting, guys.
Already?
It's going on. They're already
they're playing they're playing the trailer of the highest stakes right now. Like
maybe we can let's. I got my phone open here.
We can't pirate it, so I can't show it on the screen.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell everybody when the sort of.
Very excited.
Gotcha. Good stuff.
Hey, Big K.
What's going on, Big K, brother? Thank you for joining, man.
Just hanging, man. Just coming. I was just listening to y'all. Actually, I just dropped off the videographer for filming the debate here over here.
Nice.
I just got back home, so stoked to get into it here. Just rush back home so I could watch it and hang out with y'all. I was listening on the way, and I felt like hopping in.
That's
like good shit.
Yeah, this is a good one right here. I just, I think this is the kind of thinking that gets people in dangerous situations. Because if you don't understand what you're doing, you're not going to understand that everything can wreck you. Everything will ruin you. Period.
Yeah, I mean, especially whenever you see stuff that's good or enticing or fun or whatever. I mean, those things. The more fun it is, half the time, the more dangerous it is too. That's just how how it shit is. I mean, so you got to be careful, especially with crypto. There's incredible gains, sure. There's potential for loss too, but I mean, that's part of the game, for sure.
That's right. Supposedly it started. Has it started?
Well, they're sort of introducing the guests and whatever.
Like the
3 guys who I've never seen who are talking now, so we don't have to switch over yet.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun to say hello, gentlemen. Let's do this again.
Yeah, nice to meet you,
man.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Later.
See you guys.
Thanks for putting the stream on, Wales.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up and let the champs do their thing.
Yes.
All right, later, guys.
Later, guys. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.
And behave in the chats.
Behave.
Right.
Yeah, listen to who's saying.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Peace.
Behave or else.
Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest. That's it. That's the secret. The Godwell told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. Shit, motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. Man, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you. Y'all deep, everybody.